Hello, welcome to the podcast, Human Rights in America, a Revolutionary Mindset. I am your host, Sue Young. Episode 31, Revisiting the Issue of Healthcare in America, an issue first raised in Episode 4. You know that I like to start with a quote. Years ago, a friend of mine in Denver told me, if you don't like something, change it. And if you can't change it, then change the way you think about it. One article that I want to revisit is Article 25. The summaries that I read were the approved summaries for each article. I wasn't reading the actual language of the exact article, so when it was abbreviated, I did not stop myself to make a point that I wanted to make. The original version is clearer to me. Article 25, which says that everyone has their right to a standard of living adequate for the health and well-being of himself and of his family, including food, clothing, housing, and medical care and necessary social services, and the right to security in the event of unemployment, sickness, disability, widowhood, old age, or lack of livelihood in circumstances beyond your control. I was so new in celebrating the 4th episode, but I think that the topic was lost in the mix. So let's revisit the issue of healthcare in America. I'll replay the episode in part, but I want to add that I recently Googled the top 10 countries for healthcare. The list surprised me because I think we Americans always look to our cousins across the pond for examples. But this list surprised me and may surprise you too. The top 10 countries included Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, the Netherlands, Sweden, Ireland, Germany, Norway, Israel, and Switzerland. Interesting, right? A more in-depth look at these countries. Taiwan consistently ranked first for a comprehensive and accessible health care system. South Korea known for its quality of care and hospital availability. Japan excels in the quality of care. It has a high number of hospitals and has a strong focus on innovation. The Netherlands boasts a well-developed public health system and focus on equality. Sweden is known for its high quality of care and equity access to health care. Ireland has a well-developed healthcare system, but with room for improvement in equity. Germany is known for its universal healthcare system and its focus on equity. Norway has a well-developed public health system and a focus on equity. Israel has a strong healthcare system with the focus on innovation and technological advancements. And lastly, Switzerland is known for its high quality of care and its focus on research and innovation. I think America should be the leader in human rights. We're not. Although we talk the talk, we haven't made the leaps and bounds as other countries, from amending our Constitution to educating Americans and incorporating human rights into our laws. In 2024 research project by the Commonwealth Fund reported its findings in an article entitled, "A Portrait of a Failing Health System." The United States healthcare system ranked last overall among 10 other high-income countries on key issues as equity access to care and outcome measures, according to a new report. The top 10 countries with robust healthcare systems generally share several common characteristics. They include universal or near universal health care coverage, strong emphasis on preventive care, efficient administrative processes, and equitable access to care for all residents regardless of income. Yeah, if you don't like something, change it. I believe we can change this healthcare in America. It's not sustainable. It's like watching a fast-moving train speeding towards a brick wall. Sure, the Affordable Health Care Act, or Obamacare, was a start. We had millions of Americans uninsured. Now we don't talk about that stat anymore. But we haven't taken another step. I don't believe Obamacare was supposed to be end all. It's like a car with square wheels. We still have work to do. I don't have the answers, but I know we have smart people in this country. Even if the next step was covering preventative care for all Americans. I think back to the time when our framing fathers created this country. They wanted to break away from a king and started from scratch. They weren't perfect. They faced divisive times and were faced with their own moral dilemmas. But they created the framework for democracy that has lasted over 200 years and counting. Let's look for the vision as laid out in Article 25. The summaries that I read were the approved summaries for each article. I wasn't reading the actual language of the exact article, so when it was abbreviated, I did not stop myself to make a point that I wanted to make. The original version is clearer to me. Article 25, which says that everyone has their right to a standard of living adequate for the health and well-being of himself and of his family, including food, clothing, housing, and medical care and necessary social services, and the right to security in the event of unemployment, sickness, disability, widowhood, old age, or lack of livelihood in circumstances beyond your control. In short, I believe that Americans should have subsidized health care. Back in the day, people used the word socialized health care to scare us away from better versions of universal health care for all. After all, we the people are the foundation of this country. Our health care should not be dependent on the work that we do, meaning that corporations or small business shouldn't be responsible or in charge of our health. Our lives as humans on this planet isn't a result of our work we do from 9-5p. Our country should care that we the people are able to take advantage of the development of our healthcare systems. Here's a story. An older woman, a friend of mine, shared the story of a current decision that she had to make. Should she spend her savings on future healthcare expenses or buy a needed new car? She chose the car. I simply said that I don't think that we Americans should have to make that choice. In response, she emphatically stated that we can't follow the health care like Australia. It will increase our taxes. I was astonished. Look, there are 43 countries that provide free health care, or at least cover 90% of health care for its citizens. Brazil is the only country that provides free health care. Even India, with over 1 billion people, provide health care to their citizens. The U.S. joins 83 countries that don't. This is just my opinion. Most people live one bad illness away from bankruptcy in this country because our health care costs are skyrocketing unchecked. But I don't think the donut shop owner or the corporation were meant to subsidize the workers' health care. What if? In the 80s, I remember that people believed that we would become like Russia if we provided health care, so we did not. But some of the countries that do are our allies. I think America hasn't done enough. Some countries have amended their constitutions to include the right to health care as a human right and provide it. Some believe it and aspire to cover health care. The Affordable Health Care Act was the first step, kind of like putting square wheels on cars. But I know we have smart people in this country that come up with something. Especially when we are given the 100-year history of stats from a lot of sports, I know that someone can review how countries provide health care. I don't have an answer, but I wanted to bring that up. I read inspirational examples of great Americans doing hard things and making difficult decisions when it was unpopular to do so. I've read how Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. both turned to human rights after the civil rights movement. Like Mandela stated, where there is poverty, there is no freedom. And reducing or eliminating poverty is not a charity act. It is a human right. I think health care is a human right, It's not flashy or sexy to talk about, but I want to encourage you to think about not what you see presently, but rather what we can aspire to be tomorrow and in the future. We have to start somewhere. Proverbs 4:6-7. Do not forsake wisdom. She will protect you. Love her, and she will watch over you. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. Until next time, be revolutionary, be human.